Ladies and gentlemen, today I want you to pause and ask yourself one simple but life-changing question. Am I loyal to myself before I'm loyal to anyone else? Because the truth is, loyalty begins at home. And by home, I don't mean the house you live in. I mean the space inside your chest, your heart, your mind, your dreams. If you betray yourself, if you constantly put everyone else above your own growth, then you are building a castle on quicksand. Napoleon Hill once said, "You cannot give to others what you do not have for yourself." And this is the root of loyalty. You can't pour from an empty cup. You can't inspire, uplift, or lead others if you are constantly running on empty. Now, here's where it gets interesting. Society teaches us that being loyal means sacrificing yourself for others. And yes, loyalty to family, friends, and community matters. But let me ask you, what good is loyalty to others if it costs you your peace, your potential, your future? That's not loyalty. That's self-sabotage disguised as virtue. Think of it like an airplane. You've heard this 1,000 times. When the oxygen masks drop, put on yours first before helping others. Why? Because if you pass out, you can't help anybody. Same in life. If you don't put on your mask of self-respect, discipline, and dreams, you'll suffocate under the weight of everyone else's demands. And let's add some humor here. Imagine going to a restaurant with a friend. You're starving. The waiter brings one burger, and you say, "No, you eat first. I'll stay hungry because I'm loyal." Really, that's not loyalty. That's just bad decision making. Order your own burger, feed yourself, then share the fries if you want. Loyalty to yourself means you wake up in the morning and ask, am I honoring my health? Am I respecting my time? Am I chasing my goals, or just carrying everyone else's bags like a permanent bellboy of life? Let's be real, too many people live their lives like unpaid employees in someone else's company. They invest their time, their energy, their dreams, all for someone else's vision, and then they wonder why they feel empty at night. Stop working full time for someone else's dream while only giving part-time hours to your own. Here's another fun way to look at it. Loyalty to yourself is like charging your phone. If your battery is dead, you can't make calls, you can't send messages, you can't scroll social media for funny memes at 20 a.m. No charge, no function. Same with your soul. If you don't recharge with self-love, boundaries, and purpose, don't expect to light up anyone else's world. Napoleon Hill reminded us, every person who wins in any undertaking must be willing to burn his ships and cut all sources of retreat. Do you see it? That is the highest form of loyalty to yourself. Saying, I believe in me enough to cut off the escape routes. I'm not half in, half out. I'm all in on my own life. So today, I challenge you to laugh at the distractions, smile at the people who don't understand your journey, and most importantly, stop betraying yourself in the name of loyalty. Because when you honor your own path first, you become strong enough, wise enough, and joyful enough to truly give the best of yourself to others. Loyalty to yourself always begins with loyalty to your values. Because if you don't know what you stand for, you will fall for absolutely anything. Your values are the invisible backbone that holds you upright when life tries to bend you. They are like the compass in the middle of a storm. Without them, you're just spinning around, chasing whatever is popular, accepted, or convenient at the moment. Think about it. How many times have people betrayed their own principles just to fit in? They say yes when their heart screams no. They go along with the crowd even though their conscience whispers, this isn't you. And slowly, brick by brick, they build a life that looks good to others but feels empty inside. That's not loyalty. That's living like a chameleon, changing colors just to survive, instead of being the lion who rules the jungle by staying true to its roar. Napoleon Hill reminded us that definiteness of purpose is the starting point of all achievement. But you cannot have definiteness of purpose if you don't have definiteness of values. Your values are the guardrails on the road of life. They don't restrict you, they protect you. They keep you from driving off the cliff of regret. Now, let's add a little fun here. Imagine a person who says, my value is honesty, but then cheats in a board game with kids just to win. Come on, really. That's not loyalty to values. That's just showing you'd rather beat a 10-year-old at Monopoly than keep your dignity. True loyalty to your values means you practice them not just when it's convenient, but especially when it's costly. And here's the truth, people may not always respect your opinions, but they will always respect your integrity. When you live by your values, even your critics will secretly admire you. Because deep down, every human being craves the courage to live authentically, but only a few actually do it. So, what are your values? Is it discipline? Is it honesty? Is it kindness? Is it ambition? Whatever they are, tattoo them on your actions, not just your Instagram bio. Let people see them in the way you talk, the way you work, the way you treat the waiter at a restaurant, the way you handle money, the way you react when no one is watching. Because here's the golden rule: loyalty to your values is loyalty to your future. If you abandon them today for temporary approval, tomorrow you'll look back and realize you betrayed the only person who truly mattered: yourself. Time is the most valuable currency you will ever hold, and yet it's the currency most people spend like loose change. You can lose money and make it back. You can lose friends and build new relationships. But once you lose time, it's gone forever. No refund, no exchange, no buy one, get one free. That's why loyalty to your time is the foundation of loyalty to yourself. Think about this: each morning when you wake up, life deposits 400 seconds into your personal account. By midnight, that account resets. Whatever you didn't use wisely is gone, forever. So the question is, are you spending your time like a master investor, or are you throwing it around like confetti at a parade? Napoleon Hill taught us that successful people are masters of their time. They don't just kill time. They cultivate it. They treat every hour like a seed planted in the soil of their future. But here's the problem: most people aren't loyal to their time at all. They give it away for free, like free samples at a grocery store. Someone calls, they drop everything. Someone texts, they rush to reply. Someone says, "Hey, can you do this for me?" And they sacrifice an entire afternoon, just to please others. And then they wonder, why don't I have time for my dreams? Here's a little humor. Imagine walking into a bank, withdrawing 100,000, and then handing it out to random strangers on the street. You wouldn't do that, right? Yet people do it with time every single day, handing out hours, minutes, and days of their life to people and tasks that don't give anything back. Loyalty to your time means learning the power of no. And let's be honest, saying no can feel uncomfortable. But every time you say yes to something meaningless, you are saying no to something meaningful. Guarding your time doesn't make you selfish. It makes you strategic. A king doesn't let everyone walk into his palace. He chooses who gets an audience. In the same way, you must choose carefully what gets an audience in your life. Being loyal to your time also means avoiding the traps of distraction. Social media, gossip, endless scrolling. These are time thieves dressed as entertainment. They don't just steal your minutes, they rob your focus. And focus is the oxygen of achievement. Without it, your goals suffocate. Here's the truth: if you don't respect your own time, no one else will. People will treat your time the way you teach them to treat it. If you're always available, always flexible, always saying yes, then don't be surprised when people line up with requests like you're a free vending machine. Loyalty to your time means scheduling your dreams the same way you schedule meetings, work, or errands. If your calendar is filled with obligations for everyone else, but empty for your own goals, that's not loyalty. That's self-abandonment. Block time for reading, for working on your projects, for exercising, for rest. And once it's blocked, protect it like your life depends on it. Because it does. Remember, your future is built in the minutes you protect today. 1 hour invested in yourself daily is 365 hours in a year. That's more than 2 full-time working months dedicated to your growth. Imagine what you could build with that. Loyalty to yourself is impossible without loyalty to your health. Because let's be honest, what's the point of chasing dreams, building wealth, or working hard if your body can't carry you there? Your health is the vehicle that takes you on the journey of life. If you neglect it, you're basically trying to drive a luxury car with no engine, shiny on the outside but broken where it really matters. Too often, people treat their health as an afterthought. They say things like, "I'll start exercising when I have more time," or "I'll eat better when life slows down." Guess what? Life doesn't slow down. It speeds up. And while you're waiting for the perfect moment, your energy, strength, and vitality are quietly slipping away. Napoleon Hill spoke about the importance of sound health as one of the key riches of life. He understood that without a healthy body, even the sharpest mind struggles to perform at its best. Think about it: how creative can you be when you're constantly tired? How ambitious can you feel when your body is heavy, your breath is short, and your energy is drained? Being loyal to your health doesn't mean you need to live like a monk or train like an Olympic athlete. It means you respect your body enough to fuel it, move it, and rest it. It means you don't trade short-term pleasure for long-term pain. That second plate of greasy food might feel good in the moment, but will it feel good when you can't climb a flight of stairs without losing your breath? Let's add some fun here. Imagine you bought the most expensive smartphone in the world. You take care of it, right? You charge it, you keep it safe from scratches, you don't drop it in water. Now, here's the twist. Your body is worth more than any phone, yet people treat their phones better than their own health. They'll panic if their battery drops to 10%, but ignore their own body when it's running at 10%. Loyalty to your health is not just about food and exercise, it's also about rest. Too many people brag about how little they sleep, as if exhaustion is a badge of honor. I only slept 3 hours, but I'm still grinding. That's not grinding. That's slowly breaking yourself down. Even your phone needs to recharge, so do you. Sleep isn't weakness, it's maintenance. And let's not forget mental health. Loyalty to your health means guarding your peace of mind. Stress, negativity, and toxic environments are as damaging as junk food. If you wouldn't drink poison, why would you allow poisonous energy into your mind every day? Your body is the only place you will live for your entire life. You can buy a new house, a new car, even new clothes, but you can't buy a new body. Treat it with loyalty, because it's the partner that will carry you through every single dream, goal, and victory. Loyalty to your dreams is one of the highest forms of loyalty to yourself, because your dreams are not random. They are whispers from your soul, reminders of the life you are capable of living. When you betray those dreams, you are not just ignoring a hobby or an idea. You are betraying your own potential. Napoleon Hill said it best. Whatever the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve. But here's the problems. Too many people conceive, too many people believe for a moment, and then they quit because it gets hard, because others laugh, or because comfort whispers. Stay where you are. It's easier here. That's not loyalty. That's abandonment. Being loyal to your dreams means you protect them the way a parent protects a child. You don't let people trample on them with negativity. You don't hand them over to critics who laugh and say, "That's impossible." You don't hide them in a closet like old clothes that don't fit anymore. Your dreams deserve your commitment, your energy, and your persistence. Here's a funny way to look at it. Imagine planting a seed in the ground and then checking every 30 seconds to see if it grew into a tree. And when it doesn't, you dig it up and say, "Well, guess it wasn't meant to be." That's how many people treat their dreams. They don't give them time to grow. Loyalty means watering them, protecting them from weeds, and trusting that with patience they'll rise. The danger of not being loyal to your dreams is that you end up being loyal to everyone else's. How many people wake up every day and work full-time hours building someone else's vision, but give only part-time energy to their own? They trade their fire for a paycheck, their passion for approval, their creativity for security. And then, years later, they wonder, what happened to the life I wanted? Your dreams may not look big in the beginning. They may not even make sense to others. That's okay. They weren't given to others, they were given to you. Walt Disney's dream was once just a drawing of a mouse. J.K. Rowling's dream was just scribbles on paper while she sat in a cafe. Every skyscraper was once just a sketch on a napkin. But here's the key. They stayed loyal. They didn't give up when the dream looked ridiculous. And loyalty doesn't mean waiting. Loyalty means acting, every single day. Even if it's just one step, one call, 1 hour of work. A dream without action is just a wish. And wishes are for birthday candles, not for building empires. Protect your dreams from the thief of procrastination. Protect them from the jailer of fear. Protect them from the crowd of doubters. Because when you are loyal to your dreams, you are loyal to the version of yourself that you were meant to become. Loyalty to yourself also means loyalty to your boundaries. Because without boundaries, you are like a city with no walls. Anyone can walk in, dump their trash, and leave. Boundaries are not about pushing people away. They are about protecting the garden of your peace, your time, and your energy. And if you don't protect them, trust me, someone will happily take advantage. Too many people think loyalty means being available 24/7, saying yes to every request, and stretching themselves so thin that they're more like a rubber band ready to snap. But let's be real, always saying yes doesn't make you loyal. It makes you exhausted. Napoleon Hill taught us that self-discipline is a key to success, and part of that discipline is knowing when to say, "No, this is not for me." Think about it. Your phone has a password. Your home has a lock. Even your Wi-Fi has a password ever, and let's be honest, you'd never give that out to just anybody. So why should your mind, your energy, or your heart be left wide open with no protection? Boundaries are the passwords of your life. They decide who gets access and who doesn't. Here's a fun way to see it. Imagine you're a nightclub owner. Your life is the club, and your energy is the music. Not everyone gets VIP access. Some people need to stay outside because they don't respect the vibe. Boundaries are your bouncers. Without them, every random stranger with bad energy will waltz right in and ruin the party. Being loyal to your boundaries also means you stop apologizing for them. So many people feel guilty for saying no. They say, "Sorry, I can't," or "Sorry, I'm busy," as if protecting their time is a crime. But here's the truth: you don't need to apologize for choosing peace over chaos. You don't need to apologize for protecting your mental health. You don't need to apologize for saying, "I can't be everything for everyone, but I can be true to myself." And remember, boundaries are not only about saying no to others, they're also about saying no to yourself. Sometimes you have to say, "No, I'm not scrolling on my phone for another 2 hours." Or, "No, I'm not eating junk food just because it's convenient." Or, "No, I won't gossip just to fit in." Boundaries are the lines you draw to keep yourself aligned with who you want to become. Here's the best part. When you're loyal to your boundaries, the right people will respect you even more. Because strong boundaries don't push away the right ones. They filter out the wrong ones. The people who truly care about you won't be upset by your limits. They'll admire you for having them. Loyalty to yourself is incomplete if you are not loyal to your growth. Growth is not a luxury, it's a responsibility. You were not put on this earth to stay the same, to repeat yesterday 1,000 times until you call it a lifetime. You were designed to evolve, to stretch, to rise. And being loyal to your growth means you commit to becoming better, even if it's uncomfortable, even if it's inconvenient, even if it means leaving behind people who are content staying small. Napoleon Hill reminded us that strength and growth come only through continuous effort and struggle. Notice the words, continuous effort. Growth is not a one-time decision, it's a daily practice. Just like brushing your teeth or eating food, growth must become part of your routine. You don't brush once and say, "Well, I'm good for life." No, you do it every day. The same is true for growth. You don't read one book or take one course and declare yourself complete. You keep learning, keep improving, keep sharpening your mind. Here's the funny part. People often resist growth because it feels uncomfortable. But guess what? So does wearing new shoes at first. That doesn't mean you keep walking barefoot for the rest of your life. Growth will pinch, stretch, and even make you stumble at first. But eventually, it fits, and then it carries you further than you ever imagined. Loyalty to your growth also means refusing to stay loyal to old versions of yourself. Some people get stuck because they're trying to remain consistent with who they were, instead of who they are becoming. It's like still trying to use a flip phone in the age of smartphones. Yes, it might make calls, but you're missing out on everything else. Don't let nostalgia for your old self stop you from upgrading into the person you're meant to be. And let's be real, growth is not glamorous. It's messy. It means failing, looking awkward, asking questions, and being a beginner again and again. But here's the secret: every master was once a beginner who refused to quit. Loyalty to your growth means embracing the discomfort of being bad at something until you get good at it. Another key part of growth is your environment. If you plant a seed in dry, toxic soil, it won't grow, no matter how much potential it carries. The same is true for you. Loyalty to your growth sometimes requires changing your circle, your habits, or your environment. If you're surrounded by people who mock your ambition, who only want to talk about gossip and not goals, then you're trying to grow in soil that will choke you. Be loyal enough to yourself to find environments that nourish your growth, not drain it. Here's a light-hearted way to see it. Imagine never updating your phone apps. You'd be stuck with bugs, crashes, and outdated features while the world moves forward. That's exactly what happens when you refuse to grow. You're running old software in a world that requires upgrades. Growth is your personal update. It fixes your bugs, adds new features, and keeps you operating at your best. Being loyal to your growth means asking yourself every day, am I a little better than I was yesterday? Not perfect, not finished, not flawless, just better. Because greatness is not built in one giant leap. It's built in small, loyal steps of growth taken every single day. Loyalty to yourself reaches its true peak when you learn to be loyal to your happiness. Because at the end of the day, what is success without joy? What is wealth without peace? What is achievement if you wake up every morning feeling like a prisoner inside your own life? Too many people chase milestones, titles, and applause, but forget the very thing all of it is supposed to bring: happiness. Napoleon Hill once said, "Success in its highest and noblest form calls for peace of mind and enjoyment and happiness, which comes only to the man who has found the work that he likes best." That means happiness isn't something you stumble upon accidentally. It's something you choose, something you build, and most importantly, something you must protect with loyalty. Here's the mistake people make: they confuse loyalty to others with sacrifice of happiness. They believe that being a good parent, partner, or friend means constantly setting aside their own joy. But here's the truth: you can't give joy to others if you don't have it yourself. A sad person can't spread happiness, just like a candle without a flame can't light another. Being loyal to your happiness isn't selfish, it's service. Because when you're happy, your energy lifts everyone around you. Think about it. How many people live their lives like unpaid actors in someone else's movie? They play roles they didn't choose, follow scripts they don't believe in, and perform every day just to win approval. But the tragedy is, when the credits roll, they realize they never starred in their own film. Loyalty to your happiness means you grab the pen and start rewriting the script of your life, even if it shocks the audience. And let's add a little humor here. Imagine someone says, "I don't care about my happiness. I just care about everyone else's." That's like a chef cooking for hundreds of people while never tasting a single bite. Eventually, they'll collapse in the kitchen from hunger. You can't serve joy if you're starving for it yourself. Being loyal to your happiness also means learning to say yes to the little things that make you smile. Not everything has to be about grinding, hustling, or proving yourself. Sometimes happiness is in the simplest moments: walking barefoot on grass, listening to your favorite song, eating ice cream at midnight, dancing like nobody's watching. If it feeds your soul, it's worth protecting. And let's be honest, happiness is not the absence of problems, it's the presence of meaning. You can have challenges, struggles, and setbacks, but still be loyal to your happiness by finding reasons to smile through it all. It's about deciding, no matter what happens, I refuse to let life steal my joy. A loyalty to your happiness also means not outsourcing it to other people. Too many people put their joy in someone else's pocket. I'll be happy if they love me. I'll be happy if they approve of me. I'll be happy if they accept me. That's dangerous, because the moment they change, your happiness disappears. Real loyalty means saying, "My joy belongs to me. I own it. I control it. I choose it." So be loyal enough to chase what makes your heart feel alive. Be loyal enough to let go of what drains your spirit. And be loyal enough to remind yourself every single day that happiness is not something you wait for. It's something you live for. So my friends, loyalty to yourself is not arrogance. It's not selfishness. And it's not pride. It is survival, it is growth, and it is the foundation of a meaningful life. When you are loyal to your values, to your time, to your health, to your dreams, to your boundaries, to your growth, and to your happiness, you don't just live, you thrive. Because here's the truthy: you cannot give the world your best if you are betraying yourself every day. The people who shine the brightest, the ones who inspire, uplift, and transform lives, are not those who abandoned themselves for others, but those who stayed true to themselves so they could give from a place of abundance. And let's be honest, life is too short to live as a supporting character in someone else's story. It's your movie. It's your book. It's your stage. Be loyal enough to yourself to step into the spotlight of your own life. Because at the end of it all, when the applause fades, when the noise dies down, when you are alone with your reflection, the only question that will matter is this: was I true to myself? Stay loyal, stay true. Stay you.